Using a past tense verb to talk about the future feels completely illogical if English isn't your first language. It is a common frustration, but there is a mechanical reason for it. Look at this example. Because taking the bus is a real possibility, they use standard future phrasing. If we take the bus, it will be cheaper. The straightforward formula pairs if with a present tense verb, like take, and follows with will. This specific structure is reserved for situations that have a genuine possibility of happening in the real world. Now look at this second scenario at the bottom. The characters have already decided to take the train. Taking the bus is no longer an option. It is a fantasy. Because the context changed, the text changes to, if we took the bus, it would be cheaper. To show this shift from reality to imagination, the verbs step backward. Take becomes took, and will becomes would. This brings us to the golden rule for this grammar structure. Using a past tense verb here does not mean the action happened in the past. It means we are talking about an imaginary present or future. The past tense is simply a signal flag. It tells the listener that you are imagining a scenario rather than describing reality. Let's look closely at these two contrasting examples side by side to test this rule. In the first sentence, you think you left your watch at a friend's house. Because it is highly likely the friend will find it, you use the present tense, if you find it. In the second sentence, you are asking what someone would do if they found a random wallet on the street. It is a purely hypothetical exercise, so you use the past tense, if you found a wallet. Context dictates the grammar. Your expectation, whether you think an event will happen or you are just dreaming about it, determines the entire structure. This brings us to a frequent friction point. When translating directly from many native languages, it feels natural to put the word would in both halves of a hypothetical sentence. Notice this textbook rule's strict boundary. You do not normally use would inside the if part. You do not write if somebody would point a gun. The condition stays in the simple past tense, pointed, while would stays entirely in the result half. Keeping would strictly isolated from the if clause is a hallmark of advanced English fluency. Let's look at this exercise to apply the rule directly. We are focusing on question 2, concerning a fragile vase. The sentence begins with, be careful with that vase, and then asks you to fill in the blank with either drop or dropped. Pause the video here, write down your answer, and unpause. The correct answer is dropped. We know this is a hypothetical situation because we see the phrase would break in the second half of the sentence. The imaginary result requires the imaginary past tense trigger. Here's a summary of the patterns. Real possibilities use if plus present tense and will. Imaginary situations use if plus past tense and would. Determining whether a situation is a real possibility or a complete fantasy dictates the verb choice. This distinction turns a grammar rule into a direct reflection of a speaker's perspective.